Hi everybody, I'm Anne, and this is video number 3 in the Psych 101 video series. In the prior videos, we talked about strategies for searching and search skills. Let's review. Remember to keep it simple. Using keywords and simple phrases work best when you're starting to explore a topic in a database. Once you have search results, scan them. Are they relevant? Are they what you expected? And if not, revise your search. And third, look for clues within those search results for other words, other phrases that can help you refine your specific search. You will also recall some of these search skills. Use synonyms connected by the word or. Synonyms can really expand your search and bring back more diverse results. Using phrases which combines 2 or more words surrounded by quotation marks. Truncation allows the root of the word to be found with multiple endings, and this can also expand your search. And finally, using the subject words or the hashtags that are assigned within a database. The subject words really help explain what the article is about and can lead you to other articles that are related and are assigned those same subject words. In this video, we'll explore a research topic in PsycInfo. We'll demonstrate search strategies that help us refine our results, and we'll review the methods for obtaining the full text article. You'll recall you find PsycInfo on the Databases tab under our most popular databases. So first, remember to keep it simple. Let's try the topic binge eating. Now we will recall that we have a phrase, so we'll try that in our search. Once we have our results, remember that we want to scan them to see if they're relevant to our topic. Here I can see that binge eating is in the title and the subject field. And if I scroll down, I can see more specific disorders, but it does look as though these are relevant to my search. So you'll note that we got over 14,000 results. So let's hook into those subject words to help us narrow this search a bit. So if I look at the first one, I can see that binge eating is actually in the subject field. So one way to modify and narrow a search is to utilize the subject field with a known word or phrase that PsycInfo is using as a subject. In this case, I will narrow my search to articles that have the subject phrase binge eating. So this is still a rather broad search. I need to narrow my search based on the parameters of my assignment and potentially think about what population, maybe more specifically an age group or a gender. I might even decide to utilize a location. So for example, a particular country or nationality or other kind of identifiable group. Scanning our results can help us brainstorm and help work through some of these other ideas that we may have. Let's take a look at number 5. Once you find an article of interest, it's worth clicking on the full record and looking at the citation more closely. Remember that PsycInfo adds additional fields in the database to help us understand what this article is about before we even read it. Remember, we can see the authors, we can see the source information, which in this case is a journal, the abstract or the summary of the article. That's always very useful to read to understand in very brief form what the article researched and potentially what their findings were. The subject field, again, can help us narrow by finding additional vocabulary. And let's look at some other very specific fields that are useful to utilize in PsycInfo. Population, we can limit to gender. Age group, we can see that there's many different combinations of ages that we can select individually or combined. Let's return to our original result list and utilize the refine terms on the left. Refining our results can really help us narrow and be very, very specific within the parameters of the database. You'll note that we can limit to the format of the articles. So we could limit in this respect to the full text that is available through this database. We can limit by date, which could be pertinent if we want very current results. We can also break down the type of source, for example, peer-reviewed academic journals, books, etc. And then you'll see that we can start to limit and refine based on some of the granular fields in the database. For example, age. This would be the age of the research subjects. We could select adolescents, ages 13 to 17, and this refinement would rerun our search, adding that limit of age to our search.
Here we can see that our results, by limiting to adolescent age group, produced 718 records. It's important to note that you can eliminate these limits by clicking on the X, and that will take us back to our original search with just the subject binge eating at about 4,700 records. So it's easy to add and remove limiters as needed. It's also important to know how to look at your search history.
Here you can see my search history, searches 1 through 3, showing the words that I utilized and the field that I searched them in, and the different limiters or expanders that I used, those other fields. And here you can see in the last search that I did, I limited or narrowed by the age field. You may want to write down or keep track of or print this page to keep a record of what words and combinations of fields you've already tried. Simply click Search History again to hide those fields. Part of research is to take a closer look at your results and start reading the materials to see how it fits into your overall idea. Because many of you may be unfamiliar with the disorder you're studying, you'll have to read and learn more about it. Sometimes the title will be very broad and might be a good reading for providing an overview of a topic. Some of them will be very specific and talk about a particular treatment or therapy that was utilized within this research project. You may find it useful to add additional vocabulary to your search based on your results or based on the parameters of the assignment. For example, you may want to add the word treatment or therapy. Those are somewhat synonymous terms and can help narrow the scope of our search to articles that talk about treatment and therapy. Notice that when we conducted this search, our age category is no longer available in our limiters, so we could simply add it back by scrolling down. We also might try words like diagnosis or symptom. And here's where we might try truncation. Remember that the truncation symbol allows the root of the word to be present with multiple endings. It broadens our search. Now, these are just suggestions of terms, and for your topic, you may find things that are different. If something isn't working, feel free to remove it and try again. There is no one perfect search, so make sure you revise as needed. It's also important to note that PsycInfo does contain academic journal articles, but also book chapters, as well as dissertations, which are specific research conducted in the pursuit of a doctoral degree in psychology and related fields. For your assignments, it's best to avoid dissertations, as they are not published nor peer-reviewed in the same way that academic articles are. In most cases, academic books and journals are acceptable sources of information for academic research, but you'll want to check specifically with your instructor and the parameters of the assignment to understand what types of sources are appropriate for your research. Once you've looked at and reviewed the items in your search results, add items to your folder. And before you close your browser, be sure to email, print, or in some way save these citations for your research. Remember that some things are full text within the database, and some things you may need to investigate their full text status using the red Find This Item button.
Return to video number 2 to review finding an article in full text or requesting the article through interlibrary loan. You can also contact a Hewes librarian for assistance via our website, via chat and text.
So to review, keep it simple. Scan your search results and look for clues to help you refine your search. Remember to think about synonyms, quotes around phrases, using truncation, and utilizing the subject field when you determine there are useful subjects that describe your topic. Look for other keywords that you can add to help you narrow your search. Utilize the fields of the record and revise using those limits as needed. And don't be afraid to redo a search as many times as you need to using different parameters. Add and subtract things to your search to find new and different ways of combining those concepts and finding results. Utilize the search history to keep track of what you've done in a session. Happy searching, and reach out to reference@monmouthcollege.edu if you need any assistance.